What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the WARFRAME video. So today we're going over the most anticipated Incarnon unlocker of the entire rotation. It's the SOMA... Wait, what? You're telling me the SOMA Incarnon is the worst Incarnon, like, ever? It's worse than the normal primary shot of the SOMA? Seriously, how did they do that? I guess we'll show you today how they did that. The SOMA Prime Incarnon unlocker is a piece of garbage. It is extremely disappointing, and I'll be showing you why I find it so disappointing, and hopefully you weren't like the 75% of people that voted on my poll about what your most anticipated, hyped up Incarnon is from this rotation. I think there's a lot of people out there that are pretty bummed right now, so we'll be going over the SOMA Prime Incarnon. Hope you guys find these types of videos helpful. It's not going to be as much of a build video as more of like a how did this even happen kind of video. But I'll still show some builds and all that too. So hope you guys enjoy this stuff. Alright, SOMA Incarnon, what is it? Well, the SOMA Prime, and by the way, the SOMA Normal will be talked about in this video a little bit too. So the SOMA Normal and SOMA Prime are like a full auto rifle, and the Incarnon mode, it basically just, it's got really high crit normally. So with our build, we got 9% crit chance. But if you look at the Incarnon mode, it's at 30% crit chance. So you'll see a big difference in these types of crits you're getting. It just really is sad, unfortunately. This is probably the least exciting Incarnon. Alright, some yellow crits, some orange crits. This is with no Riven. Okay, so pretty normal stuff. Shoot these guys. Pretty much all yellow crits, a couple orange in there. Decent kill time. We use the Incarnon mode. And yeah. Does this seem very different to you? This is the Incarnon mode, by the way. It has different sound effects, and that's it. It's like a more boring version of the Boltor Incarnon, which fires out multiple bullets. Like it's a heavy Boltor with multiple bullets. This is just that, but less fun. At least the Boltor pins them to walls. This is just a hit scan version of the Boltor Incarnon. So you can see you can do some okay slash proc damage, but if you look at that arsenal screen, we're dealing with a third of the crit chance. So already, if I would have known this ahead of time, I would have just been checked out. This has 8 multi-shot on it, so you can get lots of pellets. But, yeah, it's just not very exciting at all. So let's talk about what Incarnon options you can go for here, and a lot of the bad stuff. Because if you look at the build, you might realize I'm missing the special augment mod for the SOMA Prime called Hata Satya. Each hit will increase crit chance by 1.2, and it gives you a bunch of extra crit chance. You know why this is missing? It doesn't work. It doesn't work on the Incarnon mode. So if you were to put this on here, you'd be wasting your time because it just only works with the primary shot. Now, of course, you could put it on if you're doing a build for only the primary shot. I'm sure it would work great. But again, like, why did I... Okay, if I'm doing this, why am I even bothering with getting the Incarnon unlocker? Because I could have done this stuff before in the past with no Incarnon unlocker. So, same thing. Now we've got Hata Satya. I'm not going to use the Incarnon, but I'm just going to show you it doesn't work. So there's the crit chance right there, the 117. That's the crit chance stacking up. And we'll be getting, like, you know, red crits and stuff here. Mostly orange, some red. So it's all the ways, it's pretty much all the way stacked up. I use Incarnon mode. The stacks all disappear, and we're back to yellow crits. So, yeah. Yeah, it's actually probably worse than the normal shot. So let's go over all the Incarnon options, and I'll talk about the best DPS and all that stuff. If you do want to still use this, or heck, if you chose this and before anyone realized how bad it was, let's try to salvage this situation, okay? Then we can laugh and point and laugh for a little bit here at the end. Alright, so as far as Incarnon options, let's go over all the best stuff here. Now, there are a couple okay choices on the SOMA. Now, for Tier 2, we have actually 2 decent ones. One of them is going to be Fortifying Bloodshed. Increases your base damage by plus 10, and on slash proc kill gives you 100 overshields. This can be kind of nice. If you are modding for punch through, let's say you throw Prime Shred on here, trying to get multiple enemies at a time. If they're strong enough, if they're taking enough to die to the actual slash proc ticking and not the upfront base damage of your bullets, then this will trigger. If they die to the upfront damage of your bullets, you're not going to get this 100 overshield. But yeah, this can be nice for like mid-mission, getting some overshields back, I guess, if you're using this thing. But the other option is also pretty powerful too. So a unique, powerful effect, I'd say, but not enough to make me happy about this Incarnon unlocker in the first place. Also, only plus 10 base damage. The SOMA normally has 12 base damage. The other option is going to be Fortress Salvo. Increases your base damage by plus 12, so more than the other one. And also, while your armor is over 450, plus 4 meters of punch through. A lot of punch through, and if you want to get multiple enemies with this thing, might be one of the ways to go. Especially if you're on like a Naros. A Naros doesn't get overshields. Bleeding Fortress or whatever it's called does not give you overshields on the Naros either. So you can't get overshields on Naros or Nidus, okay? I tried though. So yeah, on that one, go for whichever one you think is going to be more useful to you. On high armor frames, that punch through is a lot of punch through, so definitely keep that in mind. On tier 3, we've also got 3 pretty good ones as well. We've got reduced recoil by 50%, pretty good chunk. We've got increased accuracy by plus 50, and we've also got plus reload speed by, I think, 50% as well. So those are 3 decent options. The reload speed will help you go in between Incarnon mode and non-Incarnon mode faster. But the recoil, this thing has a kind of bad recoil, so you can maybe go with that one as well. Now, on the final evolution, this is where things get a little bit goofy, and I get even more annoyed by this Incarnon. So, after doing some DPS testing and some simulacrum testing, we have found that Fresh Havoc is the best DPS increase Incarnon damage-wise on this final tier. I'll show the other ones too, but what this requires is a reload from empty 3 times. So, on a weapon with, how many 100 bullets is this? 200 bullets. You have to waste 600 bullets to get the full benefit of this. It will give you 4 damage per projectile increase Also, look at this. This stats per projectile one seems broken. You go from 2.8 stats per projectile to 3%. You get a whopping 0.2% extra status chance per projectile with the elemental focus SOMA INCARNON. If that was actually like increasing at the base, it'd be crazy slash procs. This thing can pump out pretty good slash procs, as I've shown. But yeah, it just seems like that might be bugged or something, because going from 2.8 to 3 is not a big jump up at all. And the final one is increases base crit multiplier by 0.4. It's already got a good crit multiplier, and the Incarnon mode does not have good crit chance, so you'll not be getting access to it that often. Anyway, so let's talk about the best DPS Incarnon option here, the one I've chosen. Now, this is annoying. This is the best one, but it's also very annoying to get to work in the first place. On reload from empty, increases base damage by +4, stacks up to 3 times. This does scale with multi-shot, and it does scale with the multi-shot of the shotgun. And since this thing has basically no base damage already, this will be 12 more base damage per pellet. So when you're firing out 8 pellets, that's 8 times 12 for how much damage you're getting. Versus a 0.4 crit multiplier increase on a weapon that has, with a modded build, with a fully modded build, we're only at 30%. With a crit chance Riven, we're only at 51%. With Avenger, we're only at 96%. We're not even at orange crits with Avenger and a crit chance Riven. So yeah, definitely not looking too hot here. But here's a Viral Hunter Predictions build if you want to try that out. Again, like I said, if you want to get the most damage out of this, you have to unload your magazine entirely 3 times to get your full damage bonus. So this is what I'm talking about. Hopefully you mod it for fire rate, so you have to do this all the way down to 0 3 times. You'll see the buff in the top right corner, and if you die, you'll need to do it all over again, so hopefully you don't die either. Okay, ammo's all expended from this magazine. You will now see Fresh Havoc has procced once. We have now gotten 4 more base damage. Get ready to do that 2 more times for your full damage. So yeah, how did this actually happen? Let's get some gameplay on the screen. Okay, I don't like the Soma. The Corrosive build is also good. I'll show you a Corrosive build. Let's get some gameplay on the screen. Let's talk about how did this happen. Out of all the things they do, this seems like it could have been an easy W for DE. Let's put on a Riven too. How did this happen? We went from the Boltor Incarnon, which, people were complaining about it, to be honest, but I still thought it was pretty cool and exciting. It's a, a bolt launcher that pins enemies to walls. It becomes a bolt/shotgun with good crit and status. And here we are with this thing losing its crit. You've taken the best thing about the Soma, the crit, and you've taken it away, and you've given it status chance and projectiles instead. Now we've got Galvanized Aptitude on here. Let's actually get some procs on them too. So with some procs, you can definitely one-shot these guys. It's just not very exciting. So we go from the Boltor Incarnon, which is viewed as one of the strong, more powerful ones damage-wise, but excitement-wise is basically a 0 out of 10. And we go and we take that, we make it more boring by removing all the projectiles that make it pin enemies to walls, and we take away the crit stats. And here we are with one of the most nostalgic weapons in the game, having potentially the worst Incarnon of them all. Like, what do you guys think? The Magistar or this? Like, legit. So I feel like this could have been an easy win, and I honestly feel like it might be bugged. I'd say specifically Hata Satya not working, it just feels like a bug, dude. Like, how is that a thing? Now, apparently, Apparently the Latron double tap augment mod does not work on the Incarnon mode of the Latron. And people are like, okay, it's not supposed to work because it's a random golden mod. The Syndicate mods work, the other ones don't. I have a one-up for you. Dizzying Rounds on the Bronco does work on the Incarnon mode. And also, when the Zylock Incarnon comes out next week, I'm willing to bet Xmas Advantage will work on the Zylock Incarnon as well. So it seems like the augments that don't work here are like the random like PvP ones. And then Hata Satya. Actually, no, I take it back. Visage Ball for the Paris Prime does work on the Incarnon. So what gives here, DE? You can't build up the Incarnon on the Incarnon mode. You can't build up the Incarnon and switch over. This has to be a bug. It has to be, because Visage Ball on Paris works. It's the same vendor. So this has to be a bug. I'd say maybe don't get rid of your Soma Rivens yet, even though this is kind of embarrassing right now, Hanaro's getting his butt kicked by the Acolyte, because the Soma came and damaged this thing for some reason. Apparently he had Zephyr's third ability. But yeah, you could have just given this thing exploding bullets. Why did it have to be a shotgun? Like, why did it have to be a low... Heck, shotgun's fine. Why did it have to be a low crit shotgun? DE knew this one would be anticipated highly. And what do Soma fans like? They like to get crits and slash procs. You did half of that. We got slash procs here, but you took all my crit away, and now I can't even get orange crits with Avenger, with a crit chance Riven. So, guys, I would expect this one to get bug fixed for sure. Expect Hata Satya to work in the future because Visage Ball works in the Paris Prime. And some other things like Syndicate mods, the Miter Augment works in the Incarnon. I believe the Burst and Fire Rate mod works in the Incarnon. There's no reason it shouldn't work, but it doesn't work. So I am going to give you this warning. Don't immediately get rid of your Soma Rivens. I know a lot of people are trying to do that. I'd say don't pick this one, though, at the same time. Don't pick this one as your Incarnon because it is underwhelming. As a big Soma fan, I don't like losing my crit chance. Also, I would like to point out that, we have probably 3 Incarnons that are just going to outdo this, in the primary slot alone. So even with Visage Ball, or even with Hata Satya working, I'm not expecting the next meta-breaking weapon here at all. I mean, why would you? It's not AoE. It has punch through from an Incarnon upgrade. But yeah, you have to have 450 armor. So let's talk about the whole, entirely emptying your magazine and what that does for the Soma Prime versus the Soma Normal. So the Incarnon options on the Soma Prime and the Soma Normal are very similar. The biggest difference is on the final tier evolution, Soma Normal gets less status chance than the Soma Prime for some reason. I think they got that typo mixed up, because the Soma Prime gets more status chance than the Soma Normal. But hey, it's actually hilariously potentially more useful on the Soma Normal, because the Soma Normal has a 100-round magazine, and the Soma Prime has a 200-round magazine. You know how I showed you the Simulacrum? Empty your entire magazine for that big damage buff, or for that damage buff. I wouldn't call it a big damage buff. The Soma Normal 100-round magazine, you can still use that same Incarnon. It still gives you the same damage bonus, and they have pretty much the same base damage. So on Soma Normal, you can expend those 100 rounds quicker than the 200 rounds here, and get your bonus quicker. Now, is that going to really... This is copium right now, what I'm telling you right now. So it's not going to make it actually the next good weapon, but that's something you could do to get your Incarnon bonus faster. So let me know how you guys feel about the Soma Incarnon down below in the comment section. I think they should just give it exploding bullets. Why do we need a shotgun here? Exploding bullets has worked very well on pretty much everything else. I mean, look at the Bratton. Goes from generic, pretty much nothing rifle to AoE heat rifle. Kills stuff very nicely. The Burston, I believe, is pretty much the exact same thing as the Bratton, just has more ammo and less base damage. Works perfectly fine. Everything that's had exploding bullets has worked perfectly fine. The 2 that have turned into shotguns have not been received extremely well because it's just not exciting. I mean, look at the numbers on screen. These are 66 damage numbers right now. This is not what I'm looking for in a late game Steel Path randomized loadout unlocker thing here. So I think DE should bug fix this one. I believe Hata Satya not working is a bug because other ones work. And yeah, they could maybe buff some other stuff too while we're here. Maybe throw in a little bit of punch through at base. Or maybe make the crit chance increase on the... Honestly, if they make Hata Satya work on the Incarnon mode and it still doesn't feel very good, maybe buff that base crit chance to the normal. Because it feels wrong to have the normal mode feeling stronger than the Incarnon mode. And I'm sure the slash procs of the Incarnon mode would end up being stronger at the end. But yeah, I don't know. We want our crits. We don't want our yellow numbers. And I will see you guys in the next video. Vasto video probably tomorrow. And yeah, streams coming out very soon as well. I appreciate all the support, guys. Take it easy. Peace!